Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and in this video here, I'm going to talk to you about the Tigerman farming location in Act 3. So, you're going to be farming this location mostly for this item here, Sabertooth. However, there's other items that you can get here, the Prowler's Cuirass, which is this, and Prowler's Cuffs. Now, there's a few things I would like to talk about and mention with these items prior to jumping into showing you the farming location, and that is, I'm going to need Titan Quest Vault, aka TQ Vault, in order to show you. So if you've never used this program before, it will show you items, the suffix and prefix on the items. So as you can see, these items only have prefixes, which means they have a word essentially that comes before the name of the item. Like in game, these are called Sabertooths. Let me drop one on the ground for you. Dagnabbit, every single time I close my inventory, it puts the item back in there. So notice how on the ground it's just called Sabertooth. So, but in this, it's called, where's the one with lightning damage right here? Thundering Sabertooth. So in game, it doesn't show you the prefix or the suffix. You can only see the name of the item. And that's why TQ Vault is such a good program to be using, because it will give you the additional information that you need on the item or that you would like to see. Now, when it comes to farming monster infrequents in Titan Quest, it's very, 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 very important. Or rather, I shouldn't say it like that. I should say, first, you need to find a monster infrequent with a good, or with a prefix and an affix to basically say that you found a decent monster infrequent. And a step up from that is finding a monster infrequent with a good prefix and good affix. Or prefix and suffix, rather. Now, both prefixes and affixes, or prefixes and suffixes together are called affixes, which is what I'm going to call them from now on, since I keep messing them up and getting my tongue all twisted and tied. Now, if you're familiar with Diablo or really any like ARPG game, this is basically how the loot works in the game. It's all randomized, and each item has a chance of rolling a random suffix and random prefix. Now, in Titan Quest, the monster infrequents are base items that are pretty decent on their own, especially the Sabertooth. It's one of the best weapons you can get in the original game, and it is only basically replaced by Einherjar's Fate, which is another monster infrequent that you get from Act 5, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And this item essentially works as the most builds, melee builds, like Conquerors, like almost anything that uses warfare, like Harbingers, and, you know, really any warfare / whatever combination that uses melee weapons, they want to farm this item. Basically, you're going to be, every Act 3, you're going to farm Tigermen until you get a Sabertooth, and then once you get to Act 5, you're going to farm an Einherjar's Fate. And the Sabertooth will carry you through all of Act 3 until you get to Act 5, where you can farm the Einherjar's Fate in Asgard. And then the Einherjar's Fate will carry you all the way through the next difficulty until you get to Act 3, where you'll farm the Tigermen for the Sabertooth, and then, you know, rinse and repeat through every difficulty. And those will be basically your weapons while playing through the game. There are very, very, very few epic and legendary weapons which are better than the Sabertooth or better than an Einherjar's Fate. And it's worth mentioning, too, that epic and legendary weapons, you cannot put relics or charms on them. You can only do that with the monster infrequent items. So if you can find a monster infrequent with very, very good affixes on it, you've probably found the best weapon you can get in the game. There's, I'd say epic and legendary weapons are kind of like a stopgap between monster infrequents. If you can find a very good monster infrequent, you won't have to worry about any epic or legendary weapons, or you won't have to worry about farming a good epic or legendary weapon. You can be very content with the weapon you have. Now, as far as farming these Tigermen go, this pack leader here, see the battle standard he dropped? That is the most deadly thing that you'll have to worry about when farming out here. So we've cleared all of these Tigermen. Let me reset the game, and then I will explain a little bit more about the farming location itself instead of the items that we're going to be farming here. Now, it's worth mentioning that there are multiple... You can encounter the Tigerman enemies throughout, like, a bunch of different locations of Act 3. Multiple locations. This is my favorite location, and it's my favorite location because it's literally right next to the Rebirth Fountain. So you can clear the area and then reset, and you're literally right here again. You can find Tigermen all around Chang'an, though, as well. If you go south out of Chang'an, you go east or west out of Chang'an. Basically, every way except for north out of Chang'an, because north you'll encounter the Terracotta Warriors, and you'll be dumped into the Terracotta little castle thingy. So don't go north out of Chang'an, but if you want to farm Tigermen, you can go any other direction. And as mentioned before, the pack leaders are the main enemies you need to keep an eye out for. The second you see one of those battle standards drop on the ground, you want to pull all enemies you're fighting out of the battle standard. Because if you don't, you'll most likely die. Because the battle standards significantly boost all offensive capabilities of any enemies standing within it. Unless it's your battle standard, then it'll boost your skills and offensive capabilities as well as any of your pets or allies. And it's worth mentioning, too, that you can tell the Tigermen leaders apart from the other Tigermen by the color of their skin. Racist, I know. So let me, I want to find one of these actual Tigermen for you to show you the difference. We'll have to run down here. Avoid the Dragonkin. Well, actually, we'll probably have to kill the Dragonkin, so they don't follow us down. I usually only do the upper portion of the Jinghe River Valley. I usually don't ever come down here because you have to run through a bunch of Dragonkin and kill them. Otherwise, they'll follow you into the Tigerman camp, which is a pain in the butt. However, for the purposes of this video, I wanted to show you the full farming location. So there you can see the Tigerman pack leader. He's the bluish Tigerman right there, and he's standing right by the battle standard. Those are the enemies you have to watch out for. The only really Tigermens that will pose a threat to you are them. And it's kind of easy to destroy the battle standard if you don't feel like moving. Although, it's probably easier to just move it. And this one, see this Tigerman wearing the blue shirt? Notice the katana that he was wielding? That's a Sabertooth. However, he didn't drop it because that's just his default weapon. But keep that in mind. You can usually see weapons that the enemies are holding in this game. And as well as the gear that they're wearing, they'll usually drop the items that they are wearing. And we cleared all of the Tigermen again, so actually real fast, because it's more useful to show you this than just keep resetting the runs. Notice how it's a little bit gray here on the map. Like the whole area where I ran through is green and the gray areas. The gray areas are where you will not find Tigermen. To the north of the Jinghe River Valley, there's a waterfall cave. You'll start encountering Dragonkin, and there's usually nothing in the southeastern portion of the Jinghe River Valley either. So we'll do one last run, and then I will end the video. Something useful may pop into my head during this run, for all I know. Oh yeah, there's something useful. The hero enemies you fight will have a increased chance of dropping the Sabertooth as well as any monster infrequents. And it's not just true for these enemies, it's true for all enemies. The hero enemies / if you encounter a boss that is the same as like for the Gorgon Queens, for example, they have a higher chance of dropping Stonebinder's Cuffs than the Tigerman enemies, or than the regular Gorgons, because they're the boss Gorgons. So the same holds true for these Tigermen. Any of the hero Tigermen, the ones with the stars above their head, will have an increased chance of dropping the monster infrequents. So there's one, like, this is a... Meow Meow Tigerman hero. So he'll have an increased chance of dropping the monster infrequents. And this is another reason why I like farming the Jinghe River Valley, is because I feel as if you get a ton of the Tigerman heroes that spawn here. All Dragonkin down there. Raptors and Dragonkin up there. And that's all there is to it. I'm not going to clear the southern portion because really, aside from that main Tigerman camp right there, there's really not much to kill on the southern portion. I usually just do the Jinghe River Valley and then reset and just keep repeating this same small area. But that's all there is to it. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe for more Titan Quest and other related gaming-related videos. And I will catch you guys around the next video. Peace.